Mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is lie.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
About is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Welcome back, Habbening Bros, to another Thursday night's Habbening TV. I hope you are all well. It's pretty good here. The politics have been politicking. The wheels are in motion. And of course, the story on everyone's lips at the moment is the aftermath of the Trump assassination attempt, which I'm not going to really be covering tonight because literally everybody else is covering it and everything's basically up in the air. I can give you a summary of what's been going on though. It seems that there has been a pervasive failure of the Secret Service. Some people are saying it's just incompetence. Some people are saying it's malice. You know, that old question, right? Is it incompetence or is it malice? Apparently, they couldn't put Secret Service people on top of the roof where the shooter was because it was a bit slopey. It was a bit of a slopey roof, boys. The Secret Service bros were a bit worried they might fall over and get a bit of a boo-boo. There are persistent rumors ruminating that there may have been a shooter on the water tower, which was not covered. Again, all of this stuff is very, very up in the air at the moment. I'm probably going to cover it next week when we've got like a bit more sort of evidence. There also are some stories that there was a massive short position taken on Trump's media company in the days before, 2 days before the attack. However, that has apparently been debunked. I'm not really sure, so I'm waiting for confirmation on that as well. What else? Yeah, no one knows much about the shooter. You know, he was a quiet boy. I'll cover it next week. This week, this night, tonight, we are going to be talking about JD Vance, who is Trump's VP pick. Who is he? You know, what does he do? Is he a good old Appalachian boy, or was he propelled into prominence by shady dealings? Well, I mean, he's a politician, so, I mean, you know, you got to have some shady dealings to get there. We will also be covering, it looks like the end for President Potato. Boys, oh no, potatoes end. The reckoning cometh. Yeah, so, not to say I was right, but I was totally right. I called this as soon as this fucking started that, Obama would basically sort of step back for a couple of weeks and say, oh no, Joe's a good guy. Like, blah, 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 blah. Turns out, breaking news, you heard it here first. Obama has just come out and said that Biden needs to step down, as well as a bunch of sort of sleazy Democrat insiders, people like Adam Schiff, who I think is Pelosi's number 2. They're all turning on him, bros. He's got a bit of the COVID, so he's going to be locking himself in a basement for a while. I swear, for someone who's so against, it's going to be Kamala Harris. Oh, mate. She's going to grasp what could be unbound from what has been. Oh, mate. Look, this is going to be fucking entertaining as hell. This is going to be so entertaining. Apparently, there's going to be a debate between Harris and Vance, and based on what I've seen of Vance, I imagine he's going to eat her alive, and then Harris is going to turn around and call him a racist. And I think at this point, from the party, they are very, very, very scared. I can't think of anything worse, bros. I reckon their strategy is they're going to get in Harris and they're going to basically try and play the racism card, because that's really all they got. Harris will come out and be like, identifying as a black woman, I feel very, very attacked, even having to run for office against white men like Trump and Vance. You see the white privilege. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see whether it'll pay off for her. I am personally thinking that at this point in time, the the amount of their base they can appeal to with this sort of like blatantly racist shit is shrinking every day. MAGA's coming out and doing the, we're MAGA, we don't care if you're gay, we don't care if you're brown, we don't care if you're Christian or Hindu or Jewish or whatever. It's a big tent. Everybody get inside the big tent. Not what everybody wants, obviously, but it is a very effective political formula with a broad base. Whereas basically saying, if you don't vote for us, you're racist, I think is a losing political formula. Finally, tonight, Starmer is flexing his big, big muscles. Yes, he did the King's Speech, and he has come out with all of the new policies that Labour are about to foist upon the the public of the United Kingdom, the UK, the serfs, the little people, the plebs, the icks. And it's all the kind of like stuff that you would expect. They're going to get rid of the House of Lords. They're going to fucking ban smoking. They're going to make vaping much harder. They're going to like build like, 1 billion houses for all the Somalians that have come over. And they say they're going to stop illegal immigration, not by actually stopping legal migration. No, they're going to massively ramp up the security state and sick it on the smuggling gangs. There has literally been absolutely no word of them sort of reducing inbound migration by, tamping down on the number of visas that they're issuing or anything like that. Of course not, because that would be racist and probably bad for economic growth, because as far as I'm aware, Labor is still under the impression, doubtless foisted on them by the Office for Budget Responsibility, that more Somalians means more GDP. And Labor have basically come out and said that in an era of fiscal responsibility, they are going to defer to the Office for Budget Responsibility in literally everything they do, which is, of course, great, because you don't want the government controlling the finances of the country. You want an unaccountable Quango controlling the finances of the country. So that should be awesome. I can't wait. Might flee the country. I don't know. How's that? Felt cute. Might flee the country later. Kind of thing. Do you like this selfie? I took it whilst contemplating fleeing the country. I think I look quite good. TikTok. Anyway, right. Let's get into it. Who have we got in the chat tonight? In the Rumble chat, Ivan the Horrible, Jay, Chiva, Loophole, Sede Sapiente, Years the Eunuch. I will be on Empire of Lies with Years the Eunuch tonight at 11 in about 3 hours. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the parallels between the 2020s and the 1960s in the US, and boy, are there lots of it. History may not repeat itself, but it really does rhyme. It do be like that. Livia Drusilla, good to see you, Livia. Highland Full, who is on Odyssey on Rumble in a sort of weird switcheroo. Captain Crisps, good to see you, Crisps. I think that's everybody. On YouTube, we have Simon JJ, Streaky Bacon. I think that's it. It's a bit quiet on YouTube tonight. Oh! I'm being oppressed. It must be the algorithm. YouTube's trying to get me, bros. I honestly, I can't fucking work out YouTube at all. I was absolutely sure my last stream would get like nuked for something, but no, it's fine. Oh, and also in another bit of housekeeping, Rumble is actually paying out. So if you want to do like super chats on Rumble, it's like totally cool. I'd gone off them for a bit because I thought I'd have to get into like a big thing. But it turns out it's fine. I just, and also if you would like to give me some of your hard-earned monies for, whatever reason, like just, maybe you want a bit of that buyer's remorse, maybe you just, you're really into the parasocial relationship. I don't mind. That's fine. Oh, rub my nipples for your shekels. It'd be great. And you can do that on Entropy. Linkies are pinned in the chat. And on Odyssey, we have Highland Full again. Speak your mind. And that's it. Right. Thanks for coming, everyone. And of course, today's meme referencing the Trump shooting. Secret Service. Very afraid of that slightly sloped roof. Boy, look. They don't know, right? Shooter could have been up there with some, bottle of cooking oil or something, some Crisco. He could have like slicked it up on the roof. And then when they went to apprehend him, it would have been something like out of the Three Stooges. They would have been like falling over and getting back up, Keystone Cops. And he would have just been like, running around and be like, be a comedy of errors. Very, very undignified. So it's clear that it was preferable for them to nearly let the president of the United States, ex-president, I mean, he's still the president. In our hearts, bros, he's always still the president. Get killed rather than deal with the slightly sloped roof. Anyway, let's get into it, bros. And we also have Dawn Browning in the YouTube chat. Good to see you. Yes, I think that's all the shout outs. Thanks for coming over. Oh, and Wyatt's Torch in the Rumble chat. I forgot to give you a shout out, Wyatt. Right, let's get on with it. Where's the goddamn window? I know it's here somewhere. Okay, so This is freaking crazy. Oh, mate. Now that is how you boldly carry your drugs, bros, right? You just be like, I got this bag for medicinal reasons. That's why it's strapped to my ear. Trump, of course, turned up at the Republican National Convention, which is mostly pretty boring. I tried watching some of it, and oh my god, it nearly put me to sleep. I think it finishes like today or tomorrow. Does anyone know, chat? When does the RNC finish? Honestly, like I said, I couldn't watch much of it. It was just blah. Now, this is the return of the king. Or, if you're into apocalyptic Christianity, the return of the Antichrist. You know, he suffered a wound to the head, and the wound was partially healed, and, you know, he's got, like, you know, 8 fingers, and, you know, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure there are, like, a bunch of Christians in America being like, it's the Antichrist. I've heard some people say that the fact that people wear Trump hats is, like, a reference to, like, the mark being on their forehead. So you heard it here first, bros. You heard it here first. Trump is I'm clearly the Antichrist. It's got a funny way of showing it. Now, to be serious for just a moment, Trump does look visibly shaken, right? As he's walking into the RNC here. I don't think I've ever seen him look quite so. I mean, you know, it's subtle, right? I mean, he doesn't break into tears or anything. No, he's far too much of a Chad for that. But he does look visibly shaken. Well, I mean, you know, fair enough. Honestly, I guess I'd be a bit sus if you could escape an assassination attempt and it just not affect you at all. Check it out, bros. And of course, that 50 Cent song that has been fucking going around my head literally for like the past week at this point. Oh, we also have Old Saucy in the Rumble chat. Good to see you, man. Right, check it out. Goddamn Twitter. Yeah, look, he looks really, man, he looks haunted. I mean, look at this, man. Heart goes out to him, honestly. But I mean, you know, he's human, right? Like, you know, he's clearly not some kind of like weird MK Ultra android. Any normal person would be shaken after going through that kind of stuff. Use the eunuch. Of course, he looks haunted. He's been through a lot of shit last 8 years. Yeah, exactly. But I'm not sure whether he believed that they would actually take shots at him. I don't know. I don't know Trump's mind. Now, that sort of somber intro was replaced by the announcement of JD Vance as his vice president. That's some pretty anemic cheering there from the RNC crowd. I don't know. I've seen some footage from the RNC. I mean, a lot of the rest of it seems a little low energy. I don't know whether, I presume at some point, like probably like the closing speech will be from like Trump, and he'll be like, "I'm back, bitches. Did you miss me? We're gonna make America great again and crush the Democrats. I'm gonna spank Kamala Harris on her brown ass and send her packing," you know, something like that, right? This was the ad that the Trump team, obviously, immediately came out with after the announcement.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated. J.D. Vance. J.D. This guy turned out to be an absolute star. He's a great senator and a real fighter. He's a former Marine and a Yale-educated lawyer. He's a great student. J.D. knows how important it is to have leaders who put America first. He'll bring the toughness and intellectual firepower we need to champion our movement. He will fight for strong borders, fair trade, jobs, and he will be tough as you can be on crime. A truly MAGA all-star. Make America great again. He's an all-star.
So, Dawn Browning, The mummy in me wants to give Trump a cuddle and tell him it's going to be all right. Yeah, I know. I know what you mean. I honestly get that same urge. I want to just go up to him and be like, it's going to be all right, Donnie. It's going to be all right. So, don't even know the guy. You know what I mean, right? But like, yeah, no, I totally feel you on that, Dawn. So let's see what else we got here. Right. So this is basically a summary of what JD Vance stands for. Now, there is a principle in politics that all the intelligent players understand. If you have to have a vice president or someone who will replace you in case you are, I don't know, accidentally shot in the head, for no reason at all, could it happen to anyone, right? Always make sure that your replacement is even more repugnant to your political enemies than you are. So when they start sitting around a table smoking their cigars with their child slaves and they're like, maybe we should just kill him. Have you thought about that? Maybe we should just take him out. And someone else across the table would be like, oh, but then we'd have to deal with Vance. He's even worse, right? So this is a well understood principle in real politique. And I think Vance most definitely fits that bill. He is, to the left, even worse than Trump. And I got to say, one thing about Vance, things that are going for him, all the right people hate his guts. Significant plus. And Tucker thinks he's very cool. And I think, I trust Tucker's word on that. So, here we go. Check it out.
But it's true. Now, when I proposed to my wife, we were in law school, and I said, honey, I come with $120,000 worth of law school debt and a cemetery plot on a mountainside in eastern Kentucky. And I guess standing here tonight, it's just gotten weirder and weirder, honey. But that's what she was getting. Now, that cemetery plot in eastern Kentucky is near my family's ancestral home. And like a lot of people, we came from the mountains of Appalachia into the factories of Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Yes, you're a fellow Appalachian. I know you're not from the same state. But what's your instinctive read on Vance? If you could drop some comments in the chat, I would be interesting. I would be interested. I would be interesting. No, I would be interested to hear your take on that.
Now that's Kentucky coal country, one of the 10. Now, it's one of the 10 poorest counties in the entire United States of America. They're very hardworking people, and they're very good people. They're the kind of people who would give you the shirt off their back even if they can't afford enough to eat. And our media calls them privileged and looks down on them. But they love this country, not only because it's a good idea, but because in their bones they know that this is their home. And it will be their children's home, and they would die fighting to protect it.
Now, the cynic in me thinks like, it's like, the 4chan meme. They need white boys to go die in their wars, right? Like now they need the working class whites. They're like, oh, you guys are great. We've always loved you. Don't worry about all the critical race theory and stuff like that. But maybe I am being too cynical. I don't know. It's that's one of the things about sort of new-ish politicians. Although he was in the Ohio Senate, so I don't know. I presume he would have some sort of voting record. I've got some other clips of him. He does honestly seem pretty based.
That is the source of America's greatness. As a United States Senator, I get to represent millions of people in the great state of Ohio with similar stories, and it is the great honor of my life.
Okay, so Yiz has come back with my request. Thank you very much, Yiz. Remember, the chat is basically like my second brain, right? I can't stream and think at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like chewing bubblegum and walking. You know, I can't do two things at once. So I appreciate the brain trust that is my chat. What a brain trust it is, bros. So here's my read on Vance, one of two. He seems like a genuine guy, but he genuinely buys into the CivNat Live America that Trump and Tucker both love, the propositional nation bullshit that welcomes Indians like his wife, the same as Africans and Asians, and he is also an open Zionist like Trump and the other Republicans. I worry he is just another Maloney. Okay, right. So he is, well, that's true. MAGA is sort of explicitly CivNat at this point, so I guess that makes sense. I mean, look, you got to, in my opinion, even like honest CivNattery is better than sort of open anti-whiteism. It is at least a shift in the right direction.
Now, in that cemetery, there are people who were born around the time of the Civil War. And if, as I hope, my wife and I are eventually laid to rest there, and our kids follow us, there will be 7 generations just in that small mountain cemetery plot in eastern Kentucky. 7 generations of people who have fought for this country, who have built this country, who have made things in this country, and who would fight and die to protect this country if they were asked to. Now that's not just an idea, my friends. That's not just a set of principles. Even though the ideas and the principles are great, that is a homeland. That is our homeland.
Okay, so you get an idea. What else have we got? I might skip a couple. I'm already running a bit over time. So he didn't like Trump originally.
As somebody who doesn't like Trump myself, the elites were right about Donald Trump, right? I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
He's the best president of my lifetime, and he revealed the corruption in this country.
Now, I mean, people change their mind a lot in politics, you know, particularly when they see which way the wind is blowing. I don't know, that says a lot. This is the ad that he ran when he was running for Ohio Senate, which is pretty funny. Check this out.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall.
I just have to play that start again.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall. They censor us, but it doesn't change the truth. Joe Biden's open border is killing Ohioans, with more illegal drugs and more Democrat voters pouring into this country. This issue is personal. I nearly lost my mother to the poison coming across our border. No child should grow up an orphan. I'm J.D. Vance, and I approve this message because whatever they call us, we will put America first.
Now, Vance has campaigned quite a lot on the fentanyl crisis. There's some sort of controversy around that. However, this was him, I don't know how long, right, this is him in 2021 talking to, oh my God. Remember this guy on the left? Oh my God, I forget his name. The guy that got exposed is like a massive cuck. Oh, Jack Murphy. Thank you, Sades. Yes. Oh, and Jim of Arminius, good to see you, sir. Right, check this. I mean, this is pretty bold, right? Like, you can literally hear the Democrats screaming from the rafters.
I tend to think that we should seize the institutions of the left and turn them against the left, right? We need like a de-Bathification program, but like a de-wokeification program in the United States, right? So like, let me give you a couple examples. So one of the things I've always been very sympathetic to is this idea that we don't have a real constitutional republic anymore. What we have is an administrative state, right? The administrative state controls everything, right? So to the point that like when Donald Trump wins, he can't even sometimes get his people in core positions of authority in the administrative estate. It's like, well, do we have a constitutional republic? The founding fathers actually created a very powerful chief executive, a very powerful president. But if he can't even fire the people in his own administration, like, is this really a successful republic? So a lot of conservatives have said we should deconstruct the administrative state. We should basically eliminate the administrative state. And I'm sympathetic to that project, but another option is that we should just seize the administrative state for our own purposes. We should fire all of the people. I mean, I think Trump is going to run again in 2024. I think he'll probably win again in 2024. And he'll win by a margin such that he will be the president of the United States in January of 2025. I think that what Trump should do, like if I was giving him one piece of advice, fire every single mid-level bureaucrat, every civil servant in the administrative state, replace them with our people. And when the courts, because you will get taken to court, and then when the courts stop you, stand before the country like Andrew Jackson did and say the Chief Justice has made his ruling, now let him enforce it. Because this is, I think, a constitutional level crisis.
Oof. Now, I mean, that's pretty bold, right? You can hear all the Democrats being like, no, you can't disregard all the laws that we put in expressly to like stop you from doing anything. I personally think they should dismantle the administrative state. I think it's a bad idea to try and seize it. But as I was saying before, all the right people absolutely hate his guts. His heels up Harris talking about how horrible he is. It's okay, I already like him.
Hey everyone, so Donald Trump has picked his new running mate, J.D. Vance. Trump looked for someone he knew would be a rubber stamp for his extreme agenda, and make no mistake, J.D. Vance will be loyal only to Trump, not to our country. And unlike Mike Pence, Vance said he would have carried out Trump's plan to overturn the 2020 election. He supports a national abortion ban and voted against protecting IVF. And if elected, he will help implement the Extreme Project 2025 plan for a second Trump term, which would target critical programs like Head Start and Medicare. But we are not going to let that happen.
Oh no, bruh, not dem programs. What's gonna happen to McGibbs? I like it. I like everything about it. I don't even live in the US. I like it. Now, another interesting thing is that Vance is very against the Ukraine war. He basically said, I don't have the clip, but there's like a clip of him saying, I don't really give a fuck what happens about Ukraine. He is far more interested in attacking Iran for no reason whatsoever. Did I mention how much I love the nation of Israel, by the way? And, you know, and this sort of plays into an idea that has been doing the rounds. I think it was Semiagog who originally mentioned it on AA's show, that as much as, you know, the sort of Project for a New American Century types, you know, back in the 90s hyperpower moment were like, oh, we could fight 3 or even 4 major theater wars at the same time and win. Nah, they can't. So the suggestion is that given that they have to America has to prioritize their conflicts, when the chips are down, they are going to go with their greatest ally, which means war with Lebanon and probably war with Iran. This is him at the 60th Munich Security Conference, making a very, very good point about Russia.
Senator Vance.
Which is that we need Europe to play a bigger share of the security role. And that's not because we don't care about Europe, to your question, sir, to sort of the things that you said, Ms. Lang. It's because we have to recognize that we live in a world of scarcity. When I sort of listen to these questions, and I listen to so many of the private conversations I've had, one of the attitudes that I think is very, very dominant at the Munich Security Conference is the idea of the American superpower that can do everything all at once. And what I'm telling you is that we live in a world of scarcity in weapons manufacturing and America's capacity to make the critical machinery of war. And that world of scarcity is what I'm trying to get us all to wake up to. In that world of scarcity, we can't support Ukraine and the Middle East and contingencies in East Asia. It just doesn't make any sense. The math doesn't work out in terms of weapons manufacturing. The one final point I want to make here is, I hear a lot of self-congratulation in this room and some of the conversations that I've had back home in the United States. This is not just a criticism of Europe. A lot of self-congratulation about how much our GDP is bigger than Russia's GDP. And yes, we are richer than Russia. Our citizens have better lives than the average Russian citizen. That is certainly something to celebrate and be proud of. But you don't win wars with GDP or euros or dollars. You win wars with weapons. And the West doesn't make enough weapons. Now, I don't mean to beat up on Germany here because I love Germany, but I wanted to respond to something Ms. Lang said earlier. Look, Germany is the one country, maybe, in NATO that did not follow the stupid Washington consensus and allow their country to be deindustrialized during the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And yet at the very moment that Putin is more and more powerful, where the Russian army is invading European countries en masse, this is the point at which Germany starts to deindustrialize?
Well, I mean, that might have something to do with the fact that the Americans blew up Nord Stream. I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, and the fact that they're pivoting to their weird, you know, green energy fetishism. But look, Vance makes, you know, look, he is speaking realistically, right? Look, you know, the US can only choose, you know, one, maybe 1.5 theater war, and their priority is the Middle East, or one particular country in the Middle East, obviously.
Look at the number of people working in manufacturing in Germany now versus 10 years ago. Look at the critical raw materials produced in Germany now versus 10 years ago. The energy dependence now versus 10 or 20 years ago. We have got to stop deindustrializing. We want Europe to be successful, but Europe has got to take a bigger role in its own security. You can't do that without industry.
And again, but they can't do it with Russian gas, which means they'll have to buy liquefied natural gas from the Americans. Yeah, I'm just, okay. What's this? Oh yeah, okay, right. So yes, after his comments that he doesn't really care about Ukraine, Zelensky and co. And no doubt Newland and Kagan and the Atlantic Council and all of those sort of, you know, the sort of little goblin foreign policy state leapt into action and were like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Don't take away McGibbs.
J.D. Vance, but didn't meet with you. He said that even if you got the $60 billion in aid, it is not going to fundamentally change the reality on the battlefield. What's your response to that?
I'm not sure that he understands what's going on here. And we don't need any rhetoric from people who are not deeply in the war. So to understand it is to come to the front line to see what's going on, to speak with the people, then to go to civilians to understand what will be with them, and then what will be with them without this support, and he will understand that millions of people have been killed, will be killed.
So what Zelensky basically is saying there is that in order to make any comment about Ukraine, you have to come to Ukraine and take the Potemkin village tour, where we will show you sort of, you know, various selected sites and get you to speak with various people that definitely weren't chosen beforehand so that you can get a completely fair and balanced view. No, you can't go off by yourself to, like, you know, look and talk with random people. Security, you understand. This is so Potemkin village, right? So yes, Zelensky clearly is worried that J.D. Vance may be a force for peace. Zelensky, of course, doesn't want peace. At least not unless it's a peace that Ukraine can back. And this is, oh yeah, holy shit. This really, really pissed off the UK government. Fucking listen to this. He's not wrong though.
By the way, I have to beat up on the UK just one additional thing. I was talking with a friend recently, and we were talking about, you know, one of the big dangers in the world, of course, is nuclear proliferation, though, of course, the Biden administration doesn't care about it. And I was talking about, you know, what is the first truly Islamist country that will get a nuclear weapon? And we were like, maybe it's Iran, you know, maybe Pakistan already kind of counts. And then we sort of finally decided maybe it's actually the UK, since Labour just took over. But to my Tory friends, I have to say, you guys have got to get a handle on this, but neither here nor there. By the way, I have to beat up on...
Oh, burned! Oh, sick burn, mate, okay? I mean, He's not wrong. He's not wrong, right? And here is Tucker Carlson basically saying that he likes Vance and that all the right people hate him. And I don't know, man. I think Tucker's opinion really counts for something.
So now J.D. Vance is the VP pick, and I think every person who pays close attention has got to be thrilled by that. And if you don't know much about J.D. Vance, I'm not even going to make a case for J.D. Vance. I'm going to tell you what I just saw, which is that every bad person I've ever met in a lifetime in Washington was aligned against J.D. Vance. And I do think the negative case is often more powerful, because I know of myself, I do not think I'm a particularly good person. I have strong reasons for feeling that way. I don't always think that my side is right. I know for a fact I have been wrong many, many times. And I hope to correct and be honest about my error. So it's not like I think that, I'm always, God's always on my side. Sometimes I'm not on God's side. But I definitely know who's representing the other side. It's a lot easier to tell who the people who are only in it because they like, I don't know, killing other people in pointless wars. Like, I know who those people are. And their odor is so powerful that I can smell one when he walks in the room. And every single one of those people in a line that would extend from Milwaukee to Chicago was lined up over the last week to knife J.D. Vance. Not on personal grounds. I mean, he's a perfectly nice guy. He's like one of the only members of the Senate with a happy marriage. True. But because they thought he would be harder to manipulate and slightly less enthusiastic about killing people. That's it. That he would be an impediment to their exercising power. And boy, they went after him in a way I've just kind of never seen. Which I think happens every day in Washington. I just don't have a vantage on it because I'm far, far away and grateful to be.
Now, guys, in the chat, as far as Tucker being anti-white, I think he may have shifted his position on that. I've actually got a clip later in the show where he seems to have changed his mind completely on that. This is CNN saying that Vance is much more dangerous than Trump. He's much more dangerous. Okay, awesome, love it.
Part of the reason that J.D. Vance matters isn't for these kind of short-term electoral calculations. He matters because of what he means to the Republican Party long-term. This is cementing a kind of nationalism. Yeah. Now, Trump, to your point, I agree with you, he's an instinctive, impulsive, intuitive nationalist. J.D. Vance is an ideological nationalist. That's a much more dangerous virus because he can polish this stuff and make it seem palatable to people. He can sell this stuff to Silicon Valley. He can sell this stuff other places. And what it does is it locks the Republican Party on a pathway that I think is dangerous for the world. Again, the Ukrainians are now in deep trouble. NATO is now in deep trouble. Trump he could have gone with a Nikki Haley and signaled to the world, hey, listen, I got to give stuff to my base, but I'm not going to abandon the world. This pick is a horror on the world stage. So J.D. Vance matters because Donald Trump is pointing the Republican Party in a very scary direction for the long term.
So yes, that's Vance. The race grifters hate him. Apparently, Hillbilly Elegy was written mainly about like white Appalachians, the horrors, and basically erased this whining person, Nima Avashia. So she wasn't happy about it. He's, as I said, he's very, very against the Ukraine war. He's basically like, look, there's not enough soldiers, there's not enough weapons, we got to pull out. So, yeah. Okay, right, I'm running a bit late. So let's get on to President Potato. I love this. I'll give me Biden, I'm not leaving. He tested positive for COVID. Democrats, get in the coffin, guy. Get in. Yes. It turns out that, again, I was right on this. They're just going to keep it in the news. They paused it really briefly for the Trump shooting, and now it's back. It's constant news cycle. This, of course, is one of the great powers of the media, not just to hush stories up, but to keep certain stories in the public eye, like relentlessly over and over and over. And this is basically always used on politicians that they want to get rid of. So the latest news, he's tested positive for COVID, but he has mild symptoms. So he's going back to Delaware to take some Paxlovid, but he's got to self-isolate. He can't be out in public. And I totally understand why. In the last sort of few days, immediately after the Trump shooting, he did a bunch of interviews, and oh mate, he was so bad, right? Like, let me show you how bad things really are, to coin a phrase, bros. Okay, so this is the Real Clear Politics betting averages. As I said, I find this a more reliable indicator than the actual polls. This is July 15th, the date of the assassination. Oh, wait, it was okay. Top for Trump, 66.2%. And then it's dipped a little bit. Presumably some people aren't keen about Vance. Biden is now at 7.8, down from 35.5 on June 25th. So it's less than a month ago, right? A precipitous decline. Harris is now up at 21%. Crisp, yes, this is the odds that the bookies are giving, right? And as I said, I don't really trust the polls, okay? So yes, Kamala's odds have absolutely soared. They're just basically saying, look, he's going to drop out. He's going to drop out. When's he going to drop out? Is he going to drop out? Has he dropped out yet? They're just going to keep doing this, right? Like, if you've been watching politics for long enough, you've seen this like 100 times, right? They always do this when they're trying to get rid of somebody. And part of it, I think, was this kind of like stuff. Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock for like the past 5 years, you will be aware that the left are always saying, oh my God, right-wingers with their language, it's dangerous, stochastic terrorism, you can't just go around saying stuff. What if people thought that the people that you were saying bad stuff about was a threat and some kind of violence happened? And now that it's happened, now the shoe is on the other foot. Biden was essentially dropped into a bunch of interviews where people asked him this exact question and asked him, well, would you like to maybe sort of wind back some of your comments about Trump being a fascist and being like literally Hitler and fucking a danger to our democracy and everyone who follows him being a dangerous extremist? And Biden, of course, is like, well, nah, right? No, like, you don't understand. I'm on the left. It's okay when we do it, right? Like, that's our basic play, right? You're not allowed to do it because you're our political opponents. We're totally allowed to do it. If something bad happens to our political opponents, that's just part and parcel of the rough and tumble of politics, right? Oh God, I fucking hate the hypocrisy more than anything else, honestly.
Well, let's talk about the conversation this has started, and it's really about language, what we say out loud and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat. On a call a week ago, you said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was, there was very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing. Focus on his policies. Focus on.
I mean, the thing is, right, this implies that Biden is saying that the entire Democratic Party apparatus, in him personally, has not been laser focused on Trump literally 24/7 for like the past 2 years. They're like, oh, now we've got to put Trump in the bullseye or in the crosshairs. I mean, okay, bro, whatever you say, bro.
The number of lies he told in the debate. Focus. I mean, there's a whole range of things that, look, I'm not the guy that said, I want to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy that refused to accept the outcome of the election. I'm not the guy who said that won't accept the outcome of this election automatically. You can't only love your country when you win. And so the focus was on what he's saying and, I mean, the idea.
But have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite people who are not balanced?
Well, I don't think, look, how do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody?
I mean, that you raise a very, very interesting point, President Baked Potatoes. That's from Caravaggio in the chat. That's really, really good. Thanks, man. You make a really interesting point there, Joe. If there are people that are manifestly a danger to your country, surely you have to talk truthfully about them. You can't be worried about whether speaking the truth might incite violence against them, right? Right? I mean, this is a very, very interesting line of argumentation you're taking here, Joe. I'm very interested to see where this leads.
Look, I have not engaged in that rhetoric. Now, my opponent is engaged in that rhetoric. He talks about there'll be a bloodbath if he loses, talking about how he's going to forgive all the, actually, I guess, suspend the sentences of all those who were arrested and sentenced to go to jail because of what happened in the Capitol. I'm not out there making fun of, like, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, joking about it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Trump joked about it. I mean, like, we literally said that he was like Hitler, right? And that, like, you know, if he took over, it would be like fascism and the end of democracy. But that's totally different. That's totally different, bros. Because it's when we do it. Dax666 in the Odyssey chat. Good to see you, bro. And Tuma Varminius in the Rumble chat, if I didn't give you a shout out. I mean, this is crazy. Like, yeah, he's sinking. You can literally see him just flailing for his life. He's asked again. Again, this is another thing that the media does when they know that you're like weak on a point and they want to get you. They just ask you the same question over and over. If you give a bad answer, and just let you dig yourself even deeper into the hole, which is basically what Biden's doing here.
I'm not out there making fun of, like, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, joking about it?
This doesn't sound like you're turning down the heat, though. You've talked about
No. Look, what I'm turning down, we have to stop the whole notion that there are certain things that are contrary to our democracy that we're for. The idea of saying that I didn't win the election, when every court in the land, I don't know, 20 appeals said, and including this conservative Supreme Court, said we won. The idea of having a loyalty pledge from all the folks who are in a Republican MAGA, not all Republicans, the MAGA Republicans, saying that, no, we lost the election, inflaming the people to say,
So what can you and what will you do, at least things you can control, to lower down the temperature, the rhetoric out there?
Continue to talk about the things that matter to the American public. It matters whether or not you accept the outcome of elections. It matters whether or not you, for example, talk about how you're going to deal with the border instead of talking about people as being vermin. And those things matter. That's the kind of language that is inflammatory.
Mr. President,
Okay, Joe. Whatever, bro. Seriously. And then he started getting really testy when people started asking him about the debate, of course, because, he's sick of being asked these kinds of questions. Now, look, this indicates, right, to me, like, just how much he was being carried by the media, by, like, finance. Proper Pictures, good to see you, man. And now that they're turning against him, he doesn't like it. Oh, no, do you know who I am? I'm President Baked Potatoes. You don't speak to me like that. Who the fuck are you?
in your last TV interview, you were asked if you had watched the debate. Your answer was, I don't think so, no. Have you since seen it?
I've seen pieces of it. I've not watched the whole debate.
And the reason I ask, because I guess the question is, are you all on the same page? Are you seeing what they saw, which was moments of, frankly, that appeared to be, you appeared to be confused?
Lester, look, why don't you guys ever talk about the 28 lies he told? Where are you? on this. Why didn't the press ever talk about that? 28 times it's confirmed he lied in that debate. I had a bad night. I wasn't feeling well at all. And I had been, without making, I screwed up. But
I just asked the question because the idea that you may or may not have seen what some of these other folks have seen, you're not on the same.
I'd have to see. I was there. I'd have to see.
Oh my God, he's doing the Kamala laugh. Whoa, creepy.
See, I was there. And by the way, seriously, you won't answer the question, but why didn't the press talk about all the lies he told?
Well,
I haven't heard anything about that.
We have reported many of the issues that came up during that debate.
No, you haven't.
We'll provide you with them.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Stop talking about me. Your job is to like slag off on Trump. Why are you asking me questions? Now, this is bloody funny. I don't know who this is. I think this is like some famous streamer that I would probably know if I was like a Zoomer. The same kind of thing. He just starts getting annoyed when people are asking him questions.
I asked this question in an effort to show the younger generation that we have to coexist. So in the event that former President Trump wins this election, what is something that you feel he will do well?
I'm not being facetious. I can't think of a single thing. I'm serious. Think of what his what his objective is. It is totally anti-democratic. He says that he wants to be a dictator on day one. He means it. He says he will not recognize the outcome of the next election. He made up, I beat him by 7 million votes, and he went to, I think, 20 appeals to the court, all the way to the Supreme Court. Not one court said there was a single scintilla of evidence that he had. And what did he do then? January 6th, he got up and he encouraged people to go up and riot. Policemen were killed. People were wounded. People were hurt. The place was smashed up. They were hanging. Anyway, what did he do? He sat there in the dining room off of the Oval Office, watched it for 3 hours, didn't say a damn thing. And now he says if he loses, there'll be a bloodbath?
So what are you going to do to sort of, reduce the temperature, Joe, and, ensure that there isn't any more violence, any more political violence? Nothing. I'm just going to keep saying the same shit that I've been saying. But the rats are leaving the sinking ship, bros. Adam Schiff has warned that if Biden is the nominee, we will lose everything. The focus of the Democrats has shifted from winning the presidency to trying to not lose the House or the Senate. Well, they've already lost the House, but they're probably going to lose the Senate. And as I predicted a couple of weeks ago, Obama has now come out and told Biden to consider his position, which is a phrase in British politics when the men in the grey suits tell a leader who's gone off the rails, look, it's time for you to go. Maybe you should, take a couple of days off, have a stiff drink, and consider your position. Obama suggests that Biden should consider the viability of his candidacy. Woof. I mean, mate, when Obama speaks, he's basically America's Tony Blair, right? When Obama says you go, right? Oh, mate. Remember Obama said that famous quote, right? Never underestimate how badly Joe can fuck things up. Well, it seems that he was correct. So yeah, basically all the Biden people, all the Obama people are talking. They're talking to Pelosi. They've completely turned on him. And they are so out of messaging that Representative Joyce Beatty actually said this. I think this is from today.
So yes, this November we're going to make America great again. So yes, this November we're going to make America great again. So yes, this...
What? You're not supposed to just wholesale steal political slogans from the other side, right? What the Democrats are going to make America great again, even though they've been in power during the time when it got significantly worse. How are they going to make it great again? Look, don't worry about it. Race socialism will make it great again. Anyway, final story. Keir Starmer has come out and revealed his plans for the people of the United Kingdom. Do they like it? Well, he doesn't really fucking care, right? It's like that old joke. What does the government do to a population once they've been disarmed? They do anything they want. What are you going to do? Write them a stiff letter? What, are you going to vote? Come on. So I'll just give you a summary. Here are the key bills confirmed today and what they could mean for you. Number 1, the Budget Responsibility Bill. This bill will introduce a fiscal lock by requiring any major tax or spending changes to be subject to an independent assessment by the Office for Budget Responsibility. The Office for Budget Responsibility is basically an independent sort of thing, very close to the Bank of England. So Starmer is basically affirming, swearing, kneeling, tonguing the genitalia of the Bank of England, which means that anything that the Bank of England approves will be allowed, and anything that it says no will not. This is designed to ensure that the mistakes of Liz Truss cannot be repeated. So in other words, Starmer's going to make damn sure that he is not removed by the Bank of England. House building and planning. They are going to reintroduce mandatory house building targets of 1.5 million new homes over 5 years. And to do this, they're going to revoke a bunch of laws whereby people can protest having low-income housing built next to their stuff. So I imagine this will be sort of a step up of infinity more migrants for, pristine places in the countryside. The current planning regime acts as a major brake on economic growth. It could also, on the upside, actually sort of allow them to proceed with some serious infrastructure projects, which would probably be a good thing, to be perfectly honest. The National Wealth Fund, they're going to stick $7.3 billion in tax money into a fund, and then try and get triple that in private investment from pension funds and other kinds of stuff to mobilize private capital in the industries of the future, which basically means green energy and AI, as far as I can tell. Something about pensions, employment rights. So they're going to ban 0-hour contracts. So the cost of Deliveroo and everything else is going to go up. They're going to end fire and rehire practices. So the price of everything is going to go up. They're going to make parental sick leave available from day 1, making the cost of everything go up, and strengthen statutory sick pay, making the price of everything go up. They're going to nationalise the railways. Well, this is no surprise. This is a constant feature in UK politics. When the lefties get in, they renationalise a bunch of stuff. It works well for a couple of years, and then due to government mismanagement, it starts going to shit. And then after that, the Tories get in and they privatise a bunch of stuff, and it works okay for a while, and then it goes to shit due to corporate malfeasance. The Great British Energy Bill. Oh, God. Their messaging is terrible. It's going to get Great British Energy off the ground. What do they mean by that? Modular nuclear reactors? What they mean is that they're going to start carpeting farmland with massive solar farms in England. Now, bros, I don't know how many of you have ever been to England, but it is hardly a solar powerhouse because you don't have much fucking sun here, honestly. So, they're going to save money for households and tackle climate change. Oh, goody. Which basically means everything's going to be more expensive, and they'll probably introduce carbon tracking at some point. They're going to nationalize the water and start fining and jailing water company bosses because there's too many fucking people. So we're having problems with the sewage system because there's too many goddamn people. Are they going to replace the sewage systems? Probably not. Much easier to just fine and jail the people who are running the water companies, meaning basically that the only people who are going to want to run such companies are people picked by the government who have government protection. Border security, asylum, and immigration. They are creating a border security command, and they're going to give law enforcement anti-terrorism powers to crack down on criminal gangs. So in other words, basically, they're probably going to like make a few arrests, sentence some people, and try and divert everyone's attention from the fact that they are incredible amounts of visas and letting infinity migrants in for economic growth. They have resurrected the terrible tobacco and vapes bill, which was originally a creation of Jacinta Ardern. The current New Zealand government has scrapped it, but since it was a World Economic Forum idea, of course, these never die. Anyone born after 1st of January 2009 will not be able to purchase tobacco products ever, which means presumably after they liberalise the laws on cannabis, we will be living in a weird situation where you'll be able to buy cannabis from the corner store, but the cops will be kicking down your door to see if you've got any cigarettes. Why can't we have the cool cyberpunk where everything is like neon and Japanese and you've got like the cool umbrellas and the skyscrapers and flying cars and all that shit? No, instead we've got to have the crap version of like immigrant punk where everywhere is basically India and Africa and everyone is like sad and poor. Oh, God damn it. The Renters' Rights Bill, they're going to ban no-fault eviction, making rents more expensive because it's going to be like, you know, if you're a landlord, it's going to make like getting a tenant much more risky because you're going to have to give them 2 months notice. Wait. So the current system is you've got to give your tenants 2 months notice before getting rid of them. Now, presumably, you're going to have to give like a reason and there'll be a whole other layer of bureaucracy. And tenants will be able to challenge rent increases. Tomb of Arminius Longhouse Punk. And they are going to abolish hereditary lords, which means that all of the lords will basically be appointed by the government of the day, making it more like the Supreme Court. Oh, I can't wait, bros. It's going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to millions of more Bomalians and Jeets that are just going to enrich our country and really, really drive economic growth. It's going to be awesome, mate. I'm so considering fleeing the country. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to some cringe, bros. Oh my God. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Where's the cringe meme? Bro, you just posted cringe. Let's see, what have we got? Bunch of lefties marching on the Republican National Convention singing that same old song. I gotta say, they seem a bit low energy, bros. You know, maybe they should get off the soy for a bit. Now, this is crazy. This is from July 16th, which I think is literally 1 or 2 days after the Trump shooting, right? This is the Lincoln Project, basically, again, being like, Trump is Hitler, bros. Check this shit out.
In the 1930s, Hitler didn't just seize power. It was handed to him by the wealthy, by the powerful, by a compliant elite, by people who thought they were above the angry masses and violent anti-Semites. He was given power by Germans who knew what he believed, but thought they could contain him, control him, that his crazed speeches and dangerous antics were just for show, that his hatred would never turn on them. But like every dictator before or since, Hitler used his power to bring death, despair, and tragedy to the world. Before the world said, never again, millions of Germans believed it can't happen here. Germany bet wrong in 1933. Will we?
He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
I just love how like the normie version of history just completely erases the role of the communists when it comes to Germany. It's just like for no reason at all, right? Like literally nothing happened before. Oh God, when did Hitler come to power? Was it 37? Livia, you know this. When was the enabling bill? You know, nothing happened before then. You know, everything was like absolutely awesome in Germany. Fucking hell. Now Blue Anon is very much alive and well. There's like, you know, despite this sort of idea that you know, it's only people on the right that believe in conspiracy theories. That's completely bullshit. January 1933. Thank you, Livia. I very much appreciate it. Doing serious history whilst streaming at the same time is a bit too much. So check this out. Here's a bunch of like lefties being like, "Nah, it was all staged, bro."
It's a false flag.
False flag.
Yeah, false flag.
Somebody died and 2 people injured. What do you think about that?
False flag.
False flag.
I thought it was magnificently staged. It was professionally done. It almost looked real.
Wait. Staged by who?
Oh, by Mr. Trump, of course.
I think this whole thing is staged.
You think it was staged?
Yeah.
It depends on everybody's view. Yeah.
View of the assassination attempt? What do you think? Does it kind of depend on where you're standing, whether or not you agree with the assassination attempt or disagree with it?
I just don't see that being the truth, but that's my. I'd rather just not make any comment.
Really quick, what are you talking about the truth? What do you mean? Oh, you just don't believe it was an assassination attempt?
No.
Please don't. We're so anti-Trump. I don't even want to.
Was it a bad thing though?
I mean,
Was it a bad thing? Would you condemn it?
Oh, that he got shot at? Of course.
Yeah, you never do that.
Of
That's all.
course, you don't do that.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, that's really bad. Yeah, exactly. You don't do that. Was it staged? Probably.
Staged?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think Trump maybe staged a fake assassination for support? Okay. And that resulted in somebody dying and other people being critically injured?
I haven't seen the news today. I'm not here for the news. I haven't seen anything. I'm on vacation.
So you just thought it was fake?
Of course.
One person died in the crowd, 2 critically injured. What happened
it's a
there?
small price. It wouldn't matter to Trump. Do you think he cares if people die for him to be elected? Death doesn't mean anything to Trump.
Now, staged from whose side? Do you think Donald Trump staged it for attention?
Could be, or it could be the other side trying to make a scene or something. But I don't. The fact that he only got his ear and he would like stood up and said America. I don't. Come on.
Right.
It doesn't feel normal.
What is our evidence for suggesting that it was a fake assassination attempt?
I think that he walked away alive with perhaps a scratch on his ear.
Yeah, it grazed his ear.
Yeah. Of course, behind the scenes, that was all fabricated. Some noise, they put a little scratch on his ear, threw a little blood on his face.
Now, so you think that they planned from 130 yards away to shoot off the corner of his ear?
And they never shot off the corner of his ear. That was all done by the people hanging around him. Nobody ever shot off his ear.
Okay. So you just see it grazing his ear as maybe not real. What about the people that died what about the father that died in the stand as well as the others that were critically injured?
I don't know. I can't tell, but to me it just looks like it was planned, and bless that guy's soul for dying for this cause. I'm so sorry for that person's family.
So you think, if we're thinking that that's a big thing to think is that Donald Trump's administration faked an assassination, got people killed to try to do this. What would you say our reasoning is for saying that, or we have no reasoning?
Just a feeling. Just a feeling.
I haven't paid attention to anything right now because that's not where my mind is at right now. Okay. So as of right now, I just, like I said, I didn't want to talk about it.
Well, if we're not paying attention, is the right move to say that Donald Trump staged the assassination and faked an assassination against himself? Is that the right move, or is the right move just to say, I don't know?
I'm just going to say, I don't know. I'm on vacation.
Oh, well, you're against fake news, Donald. How about against against all this other fake crap that you pull? If Trump is involved, it's a fraud.
That was a powerful moment after he got shot. Bro got shot in the ear.
Yeah.
And he I don't know, he showed everyone that he's strong and stuff, so.
What are your thoughts about those people? Are they foolish for believing that this is a real assassination attempt?
Yeah, a lot of people are easily fooled by Donald Trump. Yeah, they're foolish.
Carnal Conservative in Rumble chat, good to see you, man. And Nameless One in the YouTube chat, good to see you as well, mate. Yeah, this is some Blue Anon shit. I don't know. Maybe do you think conspiracy theories are just a sort of a result of people seeing shit that they can't process that sort of goes against their sort of inborn programming or stuff? I don't know. Oh yeah, this is a bit of cringe. This is from the UK. doctors should talk to patients about climate change, say health leaders. So this is a new green toolkit from the Royal College of Physicians, which basically trains all the doctors. And they're basically saying that the doctors should now become agents of the woke state, essentially, and start raising social issues like climate change in their consultation with patients. This is the kind of stuff that is going to like filter down to the NHS. They should work from home, and should remain alert to distress, depression, or anxiety because of the changing climate. Now, look, this is guidance to GPs. These people aren't psychiatrists, even if you would trust a fucking brain shrinker, right? I mean, this is probably going to be these like crazy women doctors are going to be like, I'm a bit low energy. I don't feel really well. Have you considered it might be climate anxiety? Are you using a low flush toilet? Are you recycling enough, right? Oh my God, I can't freaking believe this. This is downright dangerous, obviously. And in the same thing, they're also urged to cut down on unnecessary prescribing and blood tests. So less doctoring, more ideological subversion, bros. Fucking hell, man. The new woke NHS is going to be freaking crazy. Like, you'll be able to get an appointment, but the doc, instead of like the doctor giving you meds, he'll prescribe you to like do more about climate change. Fucking hell. Now this is like weird. This is from the UK Strategic Command, where they're talking about wargaming. I always knew that Warhammer 40,000 players were a strategic asset, bros. They should make Games Workshop part of the UK military. What's just weird is how low tech this is. Check it out.
Wargaming is an ancient tool that's been used over many centuries to help understand complex problems better.
We bring together whole communities of people who might not have worked together before.
It's sharpening our thinking, it's sharpening our behaviours, and it's making us think far more about the evidence behind decisions rather than the prejudices we might have brought to them.
What we will end up with is a network of centres that are all connected through technology and through expertise in order to be able to develop the ideas together right across defence.
As a result of that, we're able to make evidence-based decisions much faster, much better.
Now, what I find really funny about this, right, is that they've clearly got like someone to do like a computer graphics package for like the actual thing. But if you look at the stuff they're actually doing, it's all pen, paper, and dice. It's all like totally low tech. I love it.
It's vital for sharpening defence's edge in the future conflicts that we may be fighting in the years ahead.
Wargaming enables us to explore the potential changes and developments, not just in equipment, but also in society and the geopolitical tensions that we are likely to face.
One of the crucial advantages of wargaming is that you can bring people together to test ideas out in a safe-to-fail environment.
It's essentially getting into a bunker and thinking through what might happen before you actually have to get into the real-life bunker and think through those issues.
Wargaming saves lives.
Yes, wargaming saves lives. It might not. It might also save your virginity, but now, to people who are saying that Tucker is anti-white, I gotta say, I think he has revised his position on this. Check this out. This is the based section of the show. Because I think we've had enough cringe.
Like, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to watch the people whose ancestors built the country die, mock them as they die, and then replace them? I don't understand. Like, that suggests like actual hate, like homicidal hate. I would never want something like that for anybody. And by the way, it's not just the United States, it's happening all over the Western world.
Yeah.
The people whose ancestors built these countries are dying and they're being replaced. And it's like, why would you want to do that? There's something very heavy going on. Go to Sweden, go to the UK, go to London. it's shocking. And I don't, at this point, care if you're not allowed to notice it or if you're racist to notice it. It's happening in Ireland. Ireland was never a colonial power. Like, in the United States, they're like, well, you have to put up with this because you were mean to Puerto Rico or something, or You know what I mean? Or you've used too much carbon, so you have an obligation to allow all of Central Africa move to your country and give them housing vouchers. Okay. But Ireland never did anything to anybody. Ireland was oppressed by Great Britain, actually. Right. It was never a colonial power. It sat out an entire
There are
world
actual
war.
movies about it.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. They suffered a potato famine. So why are you doing this to the Irish? They are the indigenous population of their island. And you're watching them die and replacing them with people from the third world. On what basis are you doing that, George Soros? Actually, like, what's the real answer? Yeah. And you have to think that this is genocidal intent. Like, what else is it? I mean, honestly, what else is it? Oh, shut up. How about no? Because I want to live like it's 1985 in the country that I loved, where honest questions could be asked with full confidence. You would have a right to do that because you're an American. And I'm going to live that way until I die. And I don't care what they do to me. I'm going to live like it's 1985 in my country. And I'm going to ask a super obvious question. Why are you doing that? And why are we putting up with it?
Based. So Tucker seems to be coming around. This is pretty cool. You know, I know people have problems with the whole CivNat thing, but you know, this is quite nice.
My shirt, because I'm being honest with you, be real with you, I can't stand Black Lives Matter. I believe it's a scam. I've seen them burn down black business. I've seen them burn out black community, and BLM, Black Lives Matter, and you burn up gas stations, you burn up a beauty supply store, and guess what? Now I'm coming back, and then I've seen them attack white people. You know, I'm for equality, and guess what? White lives matter too. I'm gonna say this because my wife's white. I'm gonna say everybody, you white, everybody white, but it still represents the whole culture, everybody. You can say Black Lives Matter, I can say White Lives Matter. White lives matter too, and that's what it is. I love everybody. So if a person can walk on BLM, why can't I do WLM? That's what I'm putting. This ain't just representing only like white people. I love everybody. I'm for equality. Everybody lives matter. I can wear a shirt that say Asian lives matter. I can wear a shirt that say gays lives matter. It don't matter. I love everybody.
Have you ever worn a shirt that says Black Lives Matter?
No, never. Because I don't like the organization. This, to me, I'm rebelling against them anyway. I don't like it. I love Black Lives Matter. I love the slogan, but the way they put it, the way they did it, no, hell no. Talk about here, I'm a patriot. I stand up for America. That's why I say White Lives Matters. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say White Lives Matter. Not saying just with one color. I'm just saying y'all can wear BLM. Whites can wear BLM. Why can't I wear WLM? Plain and simple. It's hypocrisy if I didn't care. Sure, do that.
Nice. I like it. I like it. Oh yeah, this is from Ricky Berwick. If you guys don't know him, give him a follow. He's this retarded guy. He does like fucking great comedy. I love this. I love this dude. Check this out.
When the truth is under attack, there's only one place to get the true news. Crippled News.
This is Crippled News. Disney and AT&T have reportedly been hacked. The Disney hackers got away with a terabyte worth of data, including a slate of upcoming Disney projects. Here's the list. Gay Ratatouille. Gay Toy Story. Gay Up. Gay Hulk. Gay Cars. Gay Inside Out. And for some reason, White Panther? Hold on one second. What? Apparently my search history has been leaked. Thanks, AT&T. Listen, I can explain, okay? There's a good reason why that furry...
I'd watch White Panther. Actually, I think that could be a good film. Hey, Lomax, good to see you, man. Hello to Crisby13 and Camille the Wicked, Smack Your Apocalypse, Alpha 88, and the Nameless One. Thanks for coming along, bros. Gang's all here. Oh, this is freaking awesome, man. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is an anime of the Trump shooting. It's awesome.
我が心と行動に一点の曇りなし。すべてが正義だ。ドジャーンドジャーンドジャーン一体何のつもりなんだ遺体はこのバレンタインのことを好いてくれて我が心と行動
They really should like make a full anime like that. Oh, that'd be like awesome. And this is just, I don't know, like what the fuck this is. This is just really weird. Some random dude in New York. Check this out.
I didn't vote. I don't believe in democracy.
Okay.
You know, I believe in Thule, the ancient city, and raising Thule. And I think that Trump is the candidate who's going to raise Thule and Atlantis. I believe in global cooling the earth, the sea levels lowering, and I believe in land raising from the bottom of the ocean with ancient ruins on it, like the ruins of Thule. And I believe that Trump's going to accomplish all of that. How? He's going to prove that UFOs exist. The government has known about it for a long time. They've known that the UFOs are out there and that they're trying to communicate with us and that they have secrets about the origins of human consciousness. Are you familiar with the philosopher Friedrich Schelling? Have you read the critical historical introduction to the philosophy of mythology? Schelling is a German idealist philosopher. He was roommates with Hölderlin and with Hegel. And he talks about all of this. He predicted it a long time ago. Trump is going to make German idealism real. He's going to complete the system. Kant, he could not complete the system of German idealism. Trump is going to complete the system. He's going to derive the complete system.
That was terrifying you, right? That terrifies you, right?
It terrifies me. How can we complete the system of German idealism?
I hope we never do it.
I don't know. No one could do it. Hegel couldn't do it. Schelling couldn't do it. Fichte couldn't do it. Reinhold couldn't do it. Mammon couldn't do it. No one could complete the system of German idealism.
Well, that would be good. It's good that we don't complete it, right? I mean, they almost did in 1933 to 45. They did one day out of 12
German
years.
idealism. First critique, published in 1781. Trump is a Kantian. I want it to be clear to everyone here. Donald Trump is a Kantian. He's a German idealist.
Wow. Well,
okay?
He's a drum, right? He's a drum.
Can someone Google that?
He's a drum.
He's a German idealist.
Are you from New York?
No, I'm not from New York.
Are you, how old are you? You look really young. Are you,
I'm eternal.
Have you been to college?
I'm not in college. I just want everyone to know, everyone needs to be aware that the system of German idealism is about to be complete. Do you know the works of Friedrich Schelling? Do you know about Fichte? Do you know about Fichte? Book learning. Do you know about Fichte? Books. Burn the books. Burn the books. We don't need democracy. We don't need right. We got Trump elected. We got Trump elected. Follow me on Twitter. Have a good night.
That's some epic trolling. Sadie Sapiente sent me this. This is just funny.
Brother, what's that? Brother, what's that, brother? Brother, what's that? Brother, what's that, brother? What's that? 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 What's that, brother? Brother, what's that? Brother,
Wise Torch, I've tried reading German idealism and it makes about as much sense as what this guy's saying. Yes, German idealism is cancer. Like, oh my God, trying to read Hegel is insane. This is really funny as well. Enjoy.
Middle of our tournament where my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there. I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head. So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't. And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.
Bruh. Oh yeah, this is great as well. Check this out. The way of the modern samurai. America. Right, cute animal videos. Let's just check entropy. We've got like one super chat from Simon JJ. Super stream. Oh, thank you very much, Simon. I really, really appreciate it, bro. Have another confetti of color. Thanks so much, dude. It means so much. Right, let's get on to the cute animals. Sadie Sapiente sent me a bunch of these. I've got a lot of really, really cute ones this show. You will be bathed in a sea of warm cuteness. Okay. Here we go. This is just very cute. Aw, so cute. What else have we got? Oh, and this is also heckin' cute. No sound though. Aw, he's very eepy. Him and his ducky friend. Aw. More puppies with duckies. Aw. What else have we got? Birds and foxes. Again, no sound. I wonder what that feels like. Do you think he's like dreaming of being like pecked or something? Whoop. Turn off the mic. And our final cute animal video of the night. This is just adorable. What the heck, bro? This is like something you'd like get at an expensive restaurant or something.
Do ba 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 do do ba do do do.
And that's the end of the show, bros. Thank you so much for coming. I will be on Empire of Lies in an hour and a half on Years the Unix channel. Link is in the chat. Come and check it out. Let's say goodbye to all the people in the chat. Captain Crisps, Crisby13, Sadie Sapiente, J Chiva Loophole, Livia Drusilla, Argent Party, good to see you, Ardent, The Carnal Conservative, I think you're new, bro. Thanks for coming along. Lomax, of course, the creator of my awesome intro. Tomb of Arminius, Wyatt's Torch. Is that everybody? Ivan the Horrible. I know Proper Pictures was in here as well. I think that's everyone. And of course, Years the Eunuch, whom I will be seeing soon. On the YouTube chat, we have Victorian Time Traveler, Simon JJ, Streaky Bacon, The Nameless One, Dawn Browning. Anybody else? Anybody else? I can't see anybody else. Apologies if I've missed you. And in the Odyssey chat, we have Camille Lucan. Oh, you sent me an Odyssey coin. Thanks very much, man. I really appreciate it. Alpha 88. Smack Your Apocalypse. Who else was in here? I think Speak Your Mind was in here. Highland Fall was also in the Rumble chat at the start. Anybody else? That's as much as I can scroll up on the Odyssey chat. Thank you so much for coming, bros. I will see you on Empire of Lies later. And if not, I will see you on Monday. Have an excellent weekend. And, you know, if you're Donald Trump, try not to catch any flying lead or anything. You know, stay safe, bros. See you later. Bye.